your co-workers. These people are here, volunteers. Their hard work, dedication. They've agreed to have a little consumption of alcohol. No drugs, just alcohol. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give them the same test that we give the individuals out on the highway. All right? And there's times that we don't see how they were driving. And we come up and see them in an accident, we have no idea how that driver was driving that car prior to the accident. We get there, he's standing outside the car. We can put him behind the wheel because of someone else they hit or other witnesses. But we didn't see how he was driving. All we got to go on is a field sobriety test, the odor of an alcoholic beverage on the individual's breath. I'm going to give them the same test that I give the individuals on the highway, to everybody. Little variance between them, but every trooper gives the same test. I'm going to give the test to them and ask you if you think they're drunk for one, because they may not even have anything to drink. I'm not going to tell you which one's been drinking or if they've all been drinking, what they've been drinking. I'm going to give them the test and let you tell me. You're wearing a uniform. You're riding in the cruiser. You get the scene of the accident. You see these guys. You're going to tell me if you think they're drunk, how drunk they are, and whether you arrest them or not. Okay? Gentlemen? Now they've been through these tests before. This is the third session. So this is like, they get pretty good at it. All right? First one is going to be heel to toe. We only explain one test at a time. There's no possibility that these individuals can say, I didn't understand the test. Because one of the things that we're looking at is being able to understand instructions. Because they're not going to do the test unless they know what I want them to do. I don't want them to go into court and say, I just didn't understand. First test, first of all, they already know that there's nothing wrong physically with their legs to prevent them walking normally without stumbling all over the place. Heel to toe. One foot in front of the other, toe touching the heel on each step. 5 steps that way, they're going to turn around and walk 4 steps back. Okay? First one. Next test is going to be a balance test. They can choose whatever leg they want to use. Right? You may have an individual that's right-handed, left-handed, right-legged, left-handed leg, or whatever. I don't want them having any excuse to say, well, I'm better at my right than my left. You made me do it on my right. You made me do it on my left. They can choose whatever leg they want to do it with. I want you to lift one leg off the ground. Keep the knee locked. Raise it 6 to 8 inches off the ground. Maintain that level. Count backwards from 10. Down to 0. While the leg is raised 6 to 8 inches off the ground. Put your hands down by your side, looking straight ahead. You understand what I'm asking you to do? Okay, go ahead and do that.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Next test is the finger to nose. They're going to raise both their hands out to the side. Your index finger, index finger. Both hands out by your side. When I tell you what hand to do it with, because your eyes are going to be closed during the test. I'll tell you to close your eyes. Hands will go up by your side. Bring your arm around in front of you and come straight back and touch the tip of your nose with the tip of your finger. Understand that? Okay, go ahead and try. Put your hands up. Left hand. Okay. Back up to the side. So I want you to go ahead and open your eyes for a second. Turn around and face the group. So they can see. Okay. Right hand. Next, same thing, you got to make sure you come in and see that.
Precision.
Right hand. Back up to your side. Left hand. Back up to your side. Left hand.
Give us finger disposals.
Back up to your side. Okay. Right hand. Back up to the side. Left hand. Back up to the side. Right hand. Back up to the side. Okay. Next test, basically another balance test. Close their eyes and tilt their head back as far as they can. I'm going to have you all face the audience. Just observe them once they close their eyes. Okay, and like I said, their eyes will remain closed. If you see them, I can't see them, so if you see them, open your eyes.
Yell it.
You're the ones that are going to arrest them or not arrest them. Okay, gentlemen? Close your eyes, tilt your head back as far as you can. Now you've seen it, all right? Those are the field sobriety tests. There's certain troopers might throw in another one. Another one we may give as ABCs. Right? But a lot of that has to do with being a little bit nervous or something like that. They might mess them up. We'll go ahead and throw that one in. Go ahead and say ABCs.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Can't hear you.
Right? Next.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we're going to do it a little bit different in this session than we did in the other session, because this is the last session. The other sessions, we did one at a time, and you guessed. And then we went to the next one. I'm going to go through all three of them. Okay, all three will have their test, and then we'll grade accordingly. And then I'll ask you what you think, and he'll know what he blew. I'm going to write it down, and he'll know. All right, but you won't know. I'm not going to tell you what they've been drinking, because they don't tell us. And it's obvious that we can tell they've been drinking, because if we smell an odor of an alcoholic beverage on their breath, that's what causes us to go into these tests. If we don't smell it, they're really messed up, we may think it's drugs. Right? But this individual, okay, I can determine that he's got an odor of an alcoholic beverage on his breath. He's gone through the test, you saw him complete the test, you saw how well he did the test. Now I'm going to give him the breathalyzer test. While we're waiting for this thing to analyze, because each one is going to have to analyze and I'm going to clear it. If you've got any questions, we can discuss them now. You heard about, like I said, you heard about being on base at 05 was under the influence. Off base is over 7. Basically, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen to you if you know somebody that's arrested, or hopefully none of you will ever be arrested. Once we stop you, once we make a determination that you're going to come with us, number one of the biggest things people do not like is you taking their freedom away from them. You put them on handcuffs. Nothing against the ladies. The worst drunk I've ever arrested was a woman. And they do not like the idea of being put in handcuffs. And I can understand that. But the worst person I've ever arrested was a woman. Vulgar? Oh, she got nasty. But number one, your freedom is taken away from you. You're put in handcuffs. Say you're in the car with your family. They're going to see you. Your kids are going to see you. You're put in handcuffs, thrown in the cruiser. Then we go to the station. We'll read you a form advising you that you have to take a chemical test, which in this case would be a breath test. You decide whether you're going to take it or not. You're the only one that can make that decision. If you don't take it, you're going to lose your license. If you do take it and fail, you're going to lose your license. Either way, before you could take it and you wouldn't lose your license until you went to court. New law says if you blow a .10 or above, you lose your license. If you refuse the test, you lose your license. If you're not a state driver, you'll notify your home state. They will suspend your license. It will just take a little bit longer, but your license will be suspended. And if you continue to drive on a suspended license, you're looking at a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. Or both. So, it's up to you to make the decision. But that's just basically, then you're gonna go to court. The economy the way it is, it's gonna cost you minimum $1,200 for a lawyer. Who more than likely is gonna go in and plead guilty for you. Because once you take the test, the trooper will arrest you because of things that he's seen, the test that you performed. He's gonna walk in, and you're gonna pay him $1,200 to walk in, minimum $1,200 to walk in and say, Your Honor, he's been a nice guy, he's never been arrested before, we plead guilty. Bingo, $1,200 gone to the lawyer. Now you're looking at a $500 fine minimum for under the influence. The judge wants to throw it at you. And then DWI school that you're gonna have to pay for out of your own pocket. I don't know if the military charges you for it or not. What's your first name? Todd? That's what's going to cost you, and that's what's going to happen to you. If you drive for a living, let me see the commercial out. They got this guy, his mother sitting beside him. They pull up to a stop sign. This guy, it shows his mother picking him up, and she's jibber-jabbing. It's nice to see you, and nice to ride in the car with you on your way to work. And pull up at a stoplight, and there's a good-looking girl in the car next to him, or it could be a good-looking guy, either way. This guy, here he is riding with his mother because he had his license taken away from him for DWI. And if you've ever had to do without your car or your license, unless you had to do without it, you don't know what you have. You depend on that car so much, your license so much. If you take a chance on riding around without it, it's gone. Okay, and if you get caught driving without it again, then it's going to be twice as long before you ever get it back. Any questions so far? We've got 2 more tests to do before we get into it.
What's the comparable accuracy of the breathalyzer to a blood test or a urine test?
If we gave them all, it would still be the same, but they're exactly the same, within 0.01% difference. The only time we'll give you a blood test now is if you're injured in an accident and you have to be taken to the hospital because of your injuries. You're mandated by Maryland law to take a breathalyzer test, and that's the only test that's available to you. Before you could choose, you can't choose any longer. Now, unless you're injured, you take the breath test. That's the only test you can take. But they're all accurate. Just like this little test right here, it's a preliminary breath test. Can't be used against you in court. It's used as a guide. That's all it's used as. This will be exactly the same thing you blow on that breathalyzer machine. These are certified monthly too. Next. Todd's test won't influence Ward. Todd's test won't influence Ward's test. Once this thing is clear, it's got no alcohol in it whatsoever. Questions? Or wait for this thing to analyze. Yes.
Does Maryland Department of Motor Vehicles extradite speeding tickets to other states?
We have a reciprocal agreement with other states. We're getting points on your license. But you got, there you would have to say, the trooper said I was doing 65. You knew your speedometer said 55. You got to take it upon yourself to get it checked. If you don't, there's nothing you can do. If you just go in and tell a judge, oh yeah, my speedometer said 55, he's going to say, did you get it calibrated? Oh no, that's too bad. That's why you got to get it done ahead of time.
How long do you have to follow someone in that scenario, the case scenario?
Usually no less than a tenth of a mile. you know, but you'll get those individuals that'll see you, you know, do the little nose dive. You can pick them up for at least a good 1/10 of a mile. What I usually do is if I'm pacing you, I'll get a certain distance and I'll back off just a little bit to a point where I can physically see you pulling away from me, however so slow. Just to say that not only was I pacing you, but I gave you the benefit of the doubt and backed it off a little bit. So you were definitely going at least this speed. That's just my feeling.
63. No lights, no nothing. What's the speed limit? I mean,
The speed limit for our units is exactly the same as it is for yours. See, a lot of people, you know, and I'm not trying to cover up for the guys, we've got different codes that we can run by the manual. When I say code, I mean responding to an accident, responding to a domestic call, you know, a motorist broke down on the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, you know, things that may be emergencies but not qualified. Those instances, you know, you may see a cruiser exceeding a little bit, or there may be a trooper that called out a traffic stop and call on the radio and ask the station, can you have someone stop by as a backup? Now, it doesn't qualify for him to run the lights and siren unless he calls out a signal 13, which is officer in need of assistance. So he's going to get there as quick as possible without blowing down. Instead of the computer, we just fly around in circles. And we pick the car out. And he may travel 5 miles down the road until we find him and stop him. He's coming up on the side road. They have no idea where we pick him up at. So we'll just drop him off. Not so much around here. All right. Y'all? Everybody remember Todd doing his test?
Oh, yeah. Does Todd remember?
Keep in mind, .00 is no alcohol in the system. All right. .05 on military bases and in DC is under the influence. .07 to .10 in Maryland is under the influence. .10 or above is intoxicated. I mean, you know, right? Take everything into consideration. You got the scene of the accident, minor fender, just a crinkle in the fender. All they want to do is exchange information and go home. You know, we don't need you, trooper, you know, we just want to go home. We'll exchange insurance information and be on our way. When they say that to you, you smell a little bit of alcohol. You gave him the test, you saw how he did the test. Number 1, would you arrest him?
no, not Todd.
Number 2, what do you think you blew?
Nope.
About a point.
Intoxicated.
About a point.
03,
1.5.
04.
He's intoxicated.
7.
All right, so we'll go from 03 to 05. That's what I heard. Okay, Ward. Ward's the next one. Same thing. Accident. You saw him do the test. What do you think? Would you arrest him?
He's already got his hands in the right place.
Would you arrest him? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think you'd blow?
About 1.15.
1.5? .1?
7.
So you got 08 to 1.5. Either you did real bad or you did real well. Okay. Jim?
Arrested.
Paul's a good actor.
What do you think?
.0.
Copy.
.0. Nothing.
.1. .1?
Nothing.
No.
.10?
Nothing.
Maybe a .03.
1.03. Would you arrest him? Okay. Well, we'll start.
She just looked nervous.
Start with Todd. You said .03 to .05. Okay? What were you drinking, Todd?
Jack Daniels.
He had that iced tea mixture. You saw him do the test. Okay, your guess was 03 to 05. Definitely don't arrest him. Nobody in here said arrest him.
I did.
.13. .13, the first session that we had this morning, he blew a .07. Then he went back out, had another little sip, came back in, second one was 09. All right, then he went back out, had another little sip. He's at a 1.3 right now.
How many did you have?
Empty glass.
Well, not even noon yet.
Now, he's drinking a mixture, what do they call it?
Lynchburg lemonade.
Lynchburg lemonade.
How many? Time?
Half a fifth.
I'd like to add something here. When they went out first, they started at 7:30 in the morning and drank until 8:15. And then they came in here and sat for 45 minutes before they blew the test. Both of them were on the rise. They still, their body hadn't absorbed it and stuff, and their alcohol level was still on the rise. Airman Lakovich walked in here and blew a .07 the first time, just from casually partying for 45 minutes. These guys did not go out there and try to pound down a bunch of drinks.
Okay? He's still on the rise. He'll continue to rise for another half hour at least. All right, so he's at 1.3 now. He may go as high as a 1.5. But no matter what state you're in, he's intoxicated. But you saw how he did the test, and nobody in here would have arrested him. Now he gives you some idea of what we're looking at on the street. And an individual, he's not one of them. You take an individual who's a certified alcoholic, they wake up each and every day drunker than he is right now. And they'll do the test better than he did, drunker than he was. You know, but they're a certified alcoholic. These are the people that are going to blow it .3 over or above. Okay? Next guest. You guessed, you blew him away. Ward, you guessed 05 to 08.15. He's drinking Budweiser.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's really cool.
He switched to Michelob.
Oh, yeah.
Ward!
Can't work
Each session he drank 3. Okay, the first one you blew a 04, then you went to an 07, 08, and now he's up to a 1-1. Okay, so you guessed between 08 and 15. So you got it. Everybody said they would have arrested him.
Put on bracelets.
But look at the difference. All right. What was so difference between him and Ward? I mean, between Ward and Walker.
That's all
Left and went to
He's drinking whiskey, he's drinking beer.
Beer goes red too.
Okay, Jim?
There's no doubt.
0-0.
0-0?
Yeah.
Any other guesses?
We know him.
It's kind of hard to tell. He's got that blank glassy stare all the time.
Yeah. 0-0. Yep. Hadn't had anything to drink. But, you know, you saw, well, you know him. That's for your benefit. I don't.
You've got terrible.
He failed the second surprise.
Right.
Took 5 forward and back.
Right.
He also stumbled when he was holding
Plus,
the
he
leg
on
up.
that one leg stand.
Yeah.
But then one thing I didn't ask him when he did the test, one thing I didn't ask him was there any problem with your legs? And he does have a problem.
I've had 3 knee operations on the left knee, arthritis.
See, if I hadn't asked him
Old
that,
age.